the Injury to Recovery YouTube channel. My name is Greg, and this is Blaine from Recover Physical Therapy in Twin Falls. How are you doing today, Blaine?
I'm good, Greg. How about you?
Oh, just living the dream. Excited for another day of exercises. We're gonna talk a little bit about some sort of Achilles tendonitis.
Achilles tendonitis.
Okay, yes.
You got it.
So, I'm a dumb lay member of society. You're gonna have to explain this one to me. I apologize.
Oh no. So your Achilles is, of course, your big. The actual name is the calcaneal tendon, but it's connects your calf to your heel bone, and that's the stress goes through your Achilles when you go up on your tippy toes. And so the tendonitis is just inflammation of that big tendon, and it can be quite painful. It's common in athletes, and the thing you want to be careful with it is sometimes that's a warning before you tear your Achilles. So Achilles tendonitis is something to respect and rehab so it doesn't become something worse.
Okay, so a precursor to some bigger issues.
It can be.
Typically, an injury, is this something that just comes from overuse? What's the typical injury?
Yeah, this is one we see more often in athletes. So really common in like plyometric type sports, so pickleball, tennis, basketball. Often
fast cutting.
Yes.
Okay.
You can also see it in runners a lot, repetitive stress. Especially it'll often pop up after someone maybe does some hill work and they're not ready for hills and they maybe pushed it a little bit too hard, too quickly.
All right, well, if you have this, let's get working on it. We'll work on it together with you. So.
Yeah, we got some exercises prepared for it if you do have it. Okay, so if you've developed Achilles tendonitis or pain in your Achilles tendon, this first exercise is a bread and butter exercise. So of all the exercises we showed today, this one's probably the most important. These are called eccentric calf raises. And so if Greg has Achilles tendonitis in his right foot, what he's going to do is he's going to press up on his tippy toes with both feet, and then he'll lift up his uninvolved side, his left one, and then he will slowly drop down with his right foot. And you might go just a little bit slower there, Greg. Really be in control and go nice and slow as you drop that down. So this is a nice way to load the Achilles. And loading is important for tendonitis. That's what stimulates recovery. But it's also one that's, it's a slow, heavy load, so it's unlikely to injure things. It's a very safe exercise. And it helps to rebuild calf strength and a good tension on your Achilles tendon. Okay, so for this next exercise, you're going to lean your back up against a wall, and you'll have your knees slightly bent, and you're going to lift your toes up as high as you can. And again, go kind of slow on this one, but just lift those toes up and down. And this will work the antagonist muscles opposite of your calf and your Achilles, which you want to keep strong. And this also puts a gentle stretch on your Achilles, but not too much. So you'll feel this burn in the muscle in the front of your shin bone. This is also it burns pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
This is also a common exercise we use for shin splints, both treatment and prevention, but also good to keep your Achilles nice and strong. For the next exercise, I'm going to have Greg do some single leg deadlifts. And so you'll hold a weight in one hand, and then as you drop it down, your opposite leg moves opposite of the weight. So you're kind of hinging on your hip there. And this one will cause you to feel a pretty good strain in your glute muscles and your hamstrings. What it also does is it forces you to balance. So whenever you're doing any type of single leg balance exercise, such as this one, it really forces all the muscles around your ankle to stay strong, including the Achilles and a lot of your medial and lateral and front side ankle muscles as well. So this next exercise is a foam rolling technique. So you can see Greg is putting his weight on the foam roll with his calf, and the weight's going into his Achilles as well as he rolls up and down. So this is a good way to calm down sore muscles after a run or after an exercise, or if you're dealing with Achilles tendonitis. And then another good substitute for foam rolling, if you don't have a foam roller, is you can do a muscle scraping technique. And so this is a stainless steel blade. It's a muscle scraper, and you can scrape that up and down. You want to go not just on your Achilles, but also on all of your calf. And so what this does is it stirs up circulation and doing this in and of itself is probably not going to be a magic bullet for Achilles tendonitis, but it does help to improve circulation, and if you combine it with exercise, it can make the exercise a little bit more valuable.
So most of the time we don't talk about scraping. Help me understand what sensation that I'm looking for when I do this.
Good question. So you want to dig in with the edge of the blade. And again, this is a muscle scraping technique that's meant so it's not like a cutting blade, but it does have a bit of an edge on it. So it should be on the verge of being a little bit uncomfortable, but it also shouldn't be like, it shouldn't feel like torture. And so I've seen some therapists who really like to dig on people and actually leave them with bruises, which I'm not a big fan of. So don't bruise yourself. Your skin will be a little bit red for a while after you do it, that's okay. But it's not meant to be a torture device, it's just meant to stir up some circulation.
Alright, spent a little bit of time talking about tendonitis. I know this is a little bit shorter than most of our videos, but as you said, probably something you want to pay attention to if you have tendonitis, because you don't want it to develop into something bigger.
Yeah, there's been some high-profile cases. For example, Kobe Bryant, he tore his Achilles when he was still playing basketball, and that was preceded by Achilles tendonitis. So if you have it, you don't want to just plow through it.
Yeah, and we all want to be like Kobe, right? So
yes. But that actually is a good segue into, like if you do have Achilles tendonitis, and you're doing these exercises, how do you know when to return to your pickleball game or your cross-country race? And so a good rule of thumb is if the pain is gradually decreasing, it's okay to participate in a little bit of discomfort, but if the pain is increasing or if it's not getting better, that's a warning sign that you need to maybe back off the sport a little bit and include some of these exercises. If it's not getting better, you should definitely see a physical therapist. All right, thanks, Greg.
Thanks.